You train harder than anyone else. You do the distance. You build the strength. But your times plateau. Meanwhile, someone who seems to glide effortlessly through the water beats you consistently. The difference isn't fitness. It's physics, specifically drag reduction. And you've been fighting it wrong. Here's what most swimmers don't understand. Water is 800 times denser than air. 800 times. That means every tiny misalignment in your body position, every unnecessary movement, every fraction of an inch your hips. Drop it all creates exponentially more resistance than the same error would on land. Research shows that 85% of a competitive swimmer's energy goes toward overcoming drag, not propulsion. 85%. You're not swimming forward. You're fighting backward. Elite swimmers don't look fast because they're stronger. They look smooth because they've eliminated wasted motion. When you watch Olympic footage, notice how still they appear. Minimal splashing, compact kicks, bodies that seem to slice through water rather than push through it. That's not talent. That's mastered drag reduction. Let me break down the 3 types of drag destroying your times. First, skin friction drag. This is the resistance created by water flowing over your skin and suit. It increases with speed, which is why high-tech suits compress muscles and use hydrophobic fabrics. Even body hair creates measurable resistance, which is why elite swimmers shave everything before major competitions. Second, form drag. This is pressure resistance from your body pushing water aside. Imagine holding your hand flat out a car window versus cupping it. Form drag is that difference, magnified 800 times. When your hips sink, when your head lifts too high during breathing, when your legs scissor wide during kicks, you're creating a wall of water in front of you that you then have to push through. You're literally swimming uphill. Third, wave drag. When you move at the surface, you create waves. Waves require energy. Energy you're stealing from forward motion. The faster you go, the bigger the waves, the more energy wasted. This is why streamlined position after push-offs is critical. You're moving fastest then, which means waves would be largest. But underwater, there are no waves. Zero wave drag. Every meter you glide underwater in perfect streamline is free speed. Now let's talk about what's probably killing your times hip drop. When your hips sink, your body forms a V shape. Physics says a V shape has more surface area contacting water than a straight line. More surface area equals more drag. But it's worse than that. When your hips drop, your body angle changes from horizontal to diagonal. Now you're not just fighting drag, you're swimming slightly downward, wasting propulsive force, pushing yourself down instead of forward. Why do hips drop? Weak core. Specifically, your transverse abdominis, multifidus, and pelvic floor muscles. These deep core muscles maintain spinal alignment under water pressure. If they're weak, your buoyancy center, your chest, which is full of air, pulls up while your center of mass, your pelvis and legs, pulls down. Result, that V shape we just discussed. The fix isn't more swimming. It's targeted core work. Planks where you maintain a perfectly straight line from head to heels. Hollow body holds. Dead bugs. These teach your nervous system to maintain spinal neutrality under fatigue. Then you transfer that to the pool with streamlined drills. Push off the wall, hands overhead, ears. Squeezed by biceps, core engaged, legs together. Hold that position for 5 meters minimum. Feel what straight feels like. Now breathing. This is where most swimmers sabotage themselves. Every breath is a moment of asymmetry. Your head rotates, your body compensates. Your hips react. Done wrong, each breath adds drag spikes throughout your race. The key is rotation, not lifting. Your head shouldn't come up. Your body rolls to the side just enough that your mouth clears the surface. One goggle stays in the water. Your head remains aligned with your spine. Think of it this way: if you lift your head to breathe, your hips drop as a counterbalance. That's physics seesaw dynamics. But if you rotate your whole body as a unit, your alignment stays intact. Watch Michael Phelps breathe. His head position barely changes. His entire torso rolls slightly, creating a bow wave that gives him an air pocket. No lifting, no hip drop, no drag spike. Here's a drill swim with a snorkel, so you can focus purely on body position without breathing. interrupting you. Feel what it's like to maintain perfect streamline for an entire length. Then remove the snorkel and try to replicate that same body position. While adding rotational breathing, most swimmers realize they've been lifting their heads way more than necessary. Let's talk equipment. You think it doesn't matter much? The 2008 Beijing Olympics saw 25 world records broken largely because of suit technology. Compression suits reduce muscle oscillation micro-movements that create drag. Hydrophobic fabrics shed water faster, reducing skin friction. Seamless construction eliminates drag-creating edges. But it's not just suits. Your cap matters. Long hair flowing behind you creates drag like a parachute. Even if you tuck it in a cap, bumps and ridges on the cap surface create turbulence. Elite swimmers use double caps, one to compress hair, one smooth silicone on top for minimal surface friction. Your goggles matter too. If the strap floats off your head or the lenses protrude forward, you're creating frontal resistance. Now here's what separates serious swimmers from casual ones' data. You can't manage what you don't measure. Modern swim watches track stroke count, stroke efficiency, distance per stroke, and SWOLF score the sum of time and strokes for a length. Lower SWOLF means you're moving efficiently. If your stroke count increases but your time stays the same, you're working harder for the same result. That's increased drag. If your stroke count decreases and your time improves, you've reduced drag and increased efficiency. That's the goal. Track these numbers. Watch trends. When you make a form change, see if the data confirms improvement or just feels different. Here's a counterintuitive truth: trying harder makes you slower. Tension creates stiffness. Stiffness creates jerky movements. Jerky movements create drag. Elite swimmers look relaxed because relaxation allows smooth, continuous motion. Smooth motion minimizes drag. Your kick shouldn't thrash. It should flutter small, rapid, controlled. Your arm recovery shouldn't slap the water. It should swing forward relaxed, entering cleanly. Think about a knife cutting butter versus a hammer smashing it. The knife glides through with minimal resistance because it doesn't create turbulence. The hammer creates chaos. Be the knife. Let me give you a practical protocol. Every training session, dedicate 10 minutes to streamline work. Push off walls in perfect position. Glide as far as possible before your first stroke. Count how many meters you travel. Try to extend that distance weekly. This trains your nervous system to recognize optimal body position. It also builds the core endurance to maintain it. Second, film yourself swimming. What you think you're doing and what you're actually doing are often drastically different. Most swimmers believe their hips are high when they're actually sagging. They think their head position is neutral when they are looking forward instead of down. Video reveals truth. Compare your footage to Olympic swimmers frame by frame. The differences will be obvious. Third, do kick sets with a board, but focus on minimizing splash. Loud kicking is wasted energy going vertical instead of horizontal. Silent kicking means all force is directed backward, propelling you forward. This teaches you to feel the difference between effective and ineffective propulsion. One final insight: the fastest part of every lap is immediately after pushing off the wall. You're in streamline, underwater, with momentum from the push-off. No breathing. No stroke interruption. Pure glide. If you can extend that glide phase by even half a meter through better streamlined position, you're gaining free speed multiple times per lap, with zero additional energy expenditure. In a 50-meter race with 2 turns, that's potentially 3 extra meters of free speed. At elite levels, 3 meters is half a second or more. Races are won by hundredths. Do the math! Here's the bottom line. Swimming fast isn't about overpowering the water. It's about slipping through it with minimal disturbance. Every movement should serve propulsion or body position maintenance. Everything else is drag. Eliminate it ruthlessly. Your times will drop not because you got stronger, but because you stopped fighting yourself. If this video changed how you think about swimming mechanics, please hit that like button and subscribe for more evidence-based sports science content. Your support helps us reach more athletes with information that actually improves performance. Thank you for watching, and remember, smooth is fast, and fast is smooth. See you in the next video.